Hello, my friend Shimon Diaz here, talking to you directly out of New York. If you're on this video right now, I'm gonna stay tuned because I'm gonna teach you how to learn from the mistakes of others. So, let me tell you a little story real quick. I was, as you know, I'm a boxer, and when I was boxing, I will never forget when I first started jump roping. I used to love jump roping. I used to like to go fast. I used to like to cross the rope. Basically, I like to show off on the jump rope, right? I'm telling you this story so you can learn from the mistake I made so you won't make mistakes. Now, I used to like showing off on the jump rope, jump roping quickly, crossing, and whenever I would make the mistake of not timing the jump at the right time or crossing the rope at the right time, there would be a consequence. And this was a plastic jump rope, so the 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 harder the harder I would go jump roping, and the faster the rope was, the faster I was going with the rope, I would have to pay a consequence, and that consequence was marking on my shins, basically whipping my shins. I don't know if any of you have ever jump rope with a plastic jump rope, but if you do, you know the feeling, and it doesn't feel too good. So yeah, the consequence from that mistake was I would mark on my shins. I would sting my shins. Sometimes maybe even like cut them up and they'll be bleeding. And that was because of the mistake I made. And of course, mistakes are gonna happen. This is when I first started jump roping, so mistakes are gonna happen because I was kind of new. So I made mistakes when I first started jump roping, and there was a consequence to pay. Now, what happened was I realized the mistake I was making. I realized I was timing the jump rope wrong. I realized I was crossing the rope at the wrong time. So what happened was I learned from my mistake. I didn't have to suffer the consequences. I don't know what you're going through right now in life. Maybe you might be making mistakes, but if you are like me, learn from my mistake. Learn to not let the mistake defeat you. Don't let the mistakes defeat you. Learn how to come at the task in a different approach. Learn a different way to get around the obstacle. Don't keep making the same mistake over and over. Because if you keep making the same mistake over and over, what's going to happen? You're going to mark up your shins. You're going to be bleeding from your legs. You don't want to bleed from your legs, right? You want to jump rope smoothly in life, right? That's what you want to do, right? So, learn from my mistake, right? So that whatever mistakes you're making, you can overcome the mistake. You won't bleed from your shins. And what's going to happen is you're going to grow. When you learn from your mistakes, you grow. So in jump roping, I kind of grew. I learned how to jump rope better. So whatever you're making mistakes in, you're going to get better, because once you realize the mistake you're making, you come at it in a different approach. You time it right. You time whatever you're doing. You do the right timing, right? You're not going to have to suffer the consequences. You're not going to have to sting your shins. So always, whatever mistake you're making, always learn from it, and not only learn from it, but try a different approach. Try something, time it right. Time it right. Do the right timing. Because if you time it right, like me with the jump roping, I didn't have to suffer the consequences anymore. So make sure that you're timing things right. Make sure you're learning from your mistakes. Make sure you're growing, so that you don't have to suffer the consequences anymore in life. Now, for those of you in business, if you're jump roping right now, if you're marking your shins up, if your legs are bleeding because you keep whipping your shins with the plastic jump rope, look at where your mistakes are. Look at what other people are doing that that they're not suffering consequences from. Try to learn from that, so that you won't have to go through the consequences of marking up your shins. And what's gonna happen when you learn from that? When you learn from your own mistakes and you learn from what others are doing and try to avoid what they were doing wrong, so you could do things right. What's gonna happen is you're gonna grow. Your shins are gonna be good. They're not gonna be in pain. So do that, and you will be good in life. Time things correctly, learn from other mistakes and grow, and you'll be good in life. Look at what mistakes people are making in their business, if you're in business, and learn from what they're doing. Try to come with a different approach, so that your shins will be good, and they won't be in pain, and they won't be all bruised up. And then you could jump rope smoothly. Now, with that being said, I've made mistakes in my business. If you're struggling in yours and you're making mistakes, feel free to go to my blog, or put your link in the put your name and email in the link in the description. Put your name and email, or click the link below and go to my blog, so that maybe you can relate with a mistake that I was making. And if you can relate with it, if you find something on my blog that you can relate with, you won't have to be in pain anymore. Your shins won't have to be bruised up. Why? Because I'll tell you exactly what to do, so that you won't have to go through what I went through.